Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I am Black Girl Road Traveler, back with another video. Now in today's video I'm going to be telling you my top 5 budget travel friendly destinations I have traveled to since becoming a world traveler. So if you want to learn about how to save some coin and go to some amazing beautiful places, keep on watching. Okay, the first place that is like the best place I've ever been to in my life, and nothing has been able to top it, has been Havana, Cuba. Now, in Cuba, things have changed. I first traveled to Cuba when I was a sophomore in college with an academic program. So this is when Cuba was still closed to American tourists, but it really was never closed, y'all. That's the gag, because rich people are able to go. I saw a lot of rich people from America there who were able to pay their way to be able to go. But anyways, now Cuba is open, and I'm so happy that people are starting to see how gorgeous, amazing, and culture-filled the island is. There's so many things to do. I'm going to insert some pictures. And I think the best thing for me about visiting Havana, Cuba was that they love Black women in a way that uplifts and empowers them, and they think you're the most beautiful thing on the earth. And black is the thing to be. It is the center, it is the epicenter, and they love that. And I think that is one thing that just made me fall in love with the country, to see that my Blackness was appreciated and valued. It was just a surreal experience, and I think that if you ever have a chance to go through the entire island, definitely do that. All the music that comes from Cuba comes from the east, which the southeast actually, which is where a lot of Afro-Cubans live. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go to those places. But if you ever get a chance to go, definitely go and go to Cuba. So let's talk money. Now, Cuba has two currencies. They have the pesos and they have the CUC, C-U-C, the convertible currency. And if you're a tourist, you must use CUCs, and one CUC is equal to $1 US. So you know it's a currency manipulation going on there, but that's okay. And then on top of that, you have to pay, I think it's like a 15% tax. Now things may have changed, but I think it's still the same. I just looked it up. I see that one CUC is equal to $1 US. So you will lose money when you go, or either if you're from the US, your money will transfer exactly the same, or you will definitely lose money because you are exchanging money. But have no fear. Everything in Cuba is super cheap. You can eat meals for the equivalent of $5 US and less. I got so many trinkets and stuff to bring home for like less than $20. Clubs are either free or $5 US to enter, and they're amazing. In terms of accommodation, we stayed at a nice hotel, but I definitely know that there's affordable accommodation that you can stay in, and there's a whole bunch of like tourism like companies that you can go through. But definitely look up your cheap, budget-friendly options. But definitely go to Havana, Cuba. It's the best place on earth, y'all. I can't make this up. Place number 2 is Krakow, Poland. Now, 1 zloty, that is the currency of Poland, is equal to about 25 US cents. And when I tell y'all, I was eating full meals for $2 US. So I was just like, this is where I need to be. And I consider Poland to be a part of Eastern Europe, like the beginning of Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe in general, I know, is super budget travel friendly. Everything was cheap. My Airbnb, the hostel that I stayed in, was $10 US a night. I'm going to put the name of that down below. I don't really recommend that hostel. I don't know what to tell y'all. But I know that a lot of the hostels I was looking at were very, very cheap. I did not see hostels for more than $20 US. And that's amazing. And this was right in the smackdown old town city center of Krakow. And yeah, you eat your pierogies. You get like 10 pierogies for $2. Your little cup of orange lemonade juice for 80 cents. Everything is just super budget friendly in Poland and that's because in Eastern Europe salaries are much lower than what we would expect from the U.S. So everything like has to be budget friendly because if it's not for everyone, if the people can't use it, then it's not for everyone. So yes, Krakow, Poland, great place. I was the only black person, and all the tours that I went through, and just being in Poland in general was a very white place. I felt super comfortable, and definitely go to Auschwitz-Birkenau Museum if you have the opportunity. If you ever go to Krakow, you have to go to Auschwitz. We have to remember the Holocaust and combat fake news as much as possible. But definitely take a visit to Krakow, Poland. The next place, budget-friendly place that I would recommend you to go is Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is slightly more expensive than Poland. Instead of getting meals for $2, you might gotta spend $5 US. But that's still super cheap with a drink included. Budapest is it's cultured. It's clean. It's everything that you would want in a city, and it's cheap. It's not expensive at all. My hostel that I stayed at there was about $10 to $15 US, I believe, and it was a good hostel. I'll leave the name of that down below. And honestly, Budapest is a country that I would actually consider living in. It's super fun. They have black clubs that play black music. That's important. I'll leave them down below as well. And it's just a really nice place. I think the most popular, thing that people do when they go to Budapest, they want to go to the thermal baths. So like Széchenyi thermal baths or like Gellert thermal baths. And they're like max $20 US to enter. Like for the #1 tourist attraction, I think that's pretty cheap because that's like what, 10, 15 euros. A lot of other travel destinations, you go to, a castle in Edinburgh and it's like almost 20 pounds, which is like 23, 22 euros. Like the most famous thing to do in Budapest is only 15 to 20 US. That's cheap when you think about everything in totality. And they have really good food. Budapest is a mixture of cultures, I would say. Well, the people there, the culture of food that I had was a mixture of cultures. And yeah, it's really cheap, and I think you should go. And 1 Hungarian forint is about 9 cents, 10 cents, give or take. So definitely you're getting your money's worth. You're getting a lot of money, and the Hungarian forint, you will be able to go farther. So now we have Cuba. We have Havana, Cuba, Krakow, Poland, and what's the third one, y'all? Budapest, Hungary. The 4th destination is Berlin, Germany. Now, Berlin is probably, some people may think it's not cheap, but I actually think that Berlin is cheap. I found hostels for like 15 euros, so that's what, $20 US. This is like the most expensive one. This is the most expensive one. And I really like Berlin as a city. I think with Berlin, it's such a big city, so you have to know where to go. I usually stay in Orangeburgstrasse. I can't do German. So that's like an area of Berlin that's more, there's no city center because y'all know Berlin was like divided because of the World War and all that. So there's no like city center. They have several MITs, which is several city centers, but it's really centrally located. You can get to everything. Well, it's close to public transportation, really close to trams and train stations, the bus stations, which I think is really important. And yeah, for $20 US, 15 euros per night, I think that's pretty budget traveler friendly. And in terms of food, now there's also a lot of like Vietnamese food that's really good, and they do have sausages. Y'all know Germans love their sausages, which are good, and they're not so expensive, maybe like €5 or something like that. They have like several like beer gardens where they like play soccer TV shows, soccer games, and other things of that sort. So Berlin is definitely not budget traveler friendly. You just have to know where to go. And a lot of black people I know, like the area Neuquolen, Neuoklin. It is being gentrified a little bit though, but you know, we represent it in Neuquolen. My last budget travel friendly option is none other than Seville, Spain, my favorite place in Spain. Seville is super budget travel friendly. I got my Airbnb for like $10 US. I'm not kidding, y'all. And this was in like July. I booked ahead like way in advance, but I got an Airbnb, I got a room in a shared apartment for $10 US. And I just absolutely love this. Seville is so budget traveler friendly. The tapas, you know, the small plates of food are like €2, and they're like actual tapas. That's one thing I love about Andalusia, which is the region that Seville pertains to. They give you a good portion size tapa. I love that. The tapas are like €152 for like fried fish, calamari, squid, potatoes, olives. Keep it coming. Seville is absolutely amazing, and I think that it's just the best part of Spain. I've never experienced such a place. It's definitely unique, and I think that overall, I'm excited to continue to grow with my travels and continue to travel to cheap places. So my next travel destination hopefully will be Southeast Asia. Super travel, budget travel friendly, and you know, even if something is expensive, I'm gonna tell y'all, we gonna find a way to cut costs. I think that's the best thing that I've learned as a traveler, is learning how to cut costs. Because I've been in some expensive places, like Amsterdam is expensive. Iceland, disgustingly expensive. But, you know, I as a budget traveler, were able to go to those places and still make the best of it. So I hope you guys have learned something. Oh yeah, the currency in Seville, it's like $1 is like 90 cents euro. So like $1.10 US dollars is $1.10 is €1. So the US dollar is worth less than the euro. That's just something to remember. But Seville is super cheap, super budget travel friendly. Everyone should go and visit such a beautiful city. So let's review: Havana, Cuba; Krakow, Poland; Budapest, Hungary; Berlin, Germany; Seville, Spain. Top 5 budget travel friendly destinations that I have been on. I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you guys are excited to travel, because I know I sure am ready to get back out there. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.